And we're back in the attic. I know you guys thought, hey, last week's episode was great. Guess what? Dancast number 2.
Woo! The sequel. We're like Jurassic Park. We found the island and the dinosaurs are still alive.
Didn't the second one suck, though?
No, the second one's good. The third one sucks.
Oh.
Second one's
Well,
good.
technically, this is that third one.
Yeah, it is a technical third Dancast. But this is the one we call Dancast Part 2.
All right.
We're going to call it the Lawless Dancast because we're breaking all the laws.
Fuck the laws.
Yeah, NWA.
I am above the law.
I am the law. Wait for that when we watch Dread 3D.
When's that out?
Sometime in September.
I know.
So,
I say this every week.
It's September movies. I don't know when they're
September movies. Movies seem to be doing real bad for like
box office wise. Yeah. Number one this weekend was what was it? It was the Possession.
Yeah.
But that was like
it's only 17.7 million.
Yeah. But I mean, horror movies, that's probably like a $60 million movie. So
to make?
Yeah.
Really?
That particular one. Just because you got Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I think he's a well-known sort of name, I guess. I don't know. A little bit.
Really?
No, I have no idea.
All right.
I know who Jeffrey Dean Morgan is, but Joe Q. Public, I don't know.
Yeah, Lawless did 9.7. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it was an R-rated, though, movie.
Yeah. Which it really didn't need to be, in my opinion.
Are you kidding me? The violence in that was pretty
true.
violent.
Right.
There was a lot of blood.
Yeah, all right. I thought they got the R for the nudity.
No, there was the boob things, but yeah, they
didn't need those.
They could have done it real quick and got away with a PG-13. But the thing that really put it over the edge is some guy's throat got slit in the movie, and then there's just blood everywhere.
Which time?
Yeah, which time exactly? But yeah, we'll get more in depth into John Hillcoat's film Lawless later in the podcast. But what else do we have to talk about this episode?
We forgot to talk about Newsroom last week, so we're gonna hit on that this week.
Yeah, we put the podcast off to watch the rest of Newsroom, and then once we got into the podcast booth, we forgot about it.
The booth, aka the attic,
aka the place with fans, and it's hot, and
yeah,
you can also see the rafters.
It's gonna be cold this winter.
I'll be happy for the cold, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
actually, I don't remember it being that cold when we did.
There was
record.
a couple times up here because like we're up here. I'm like, God, can't we shut off these fans? And we can't.
Oh yeah, the fans just go. We don't know how they work.
Can't turn them off.
It's a weird attic.
Wireless fucking remotes.
Yeah.
Where's the pull chains, man?
All right, and then I think I'm going to talk a little bit about Breaking Bad because they had the year finale.
We got a couple comments. People want to know where you're at with Supernatural.
Where am I at with Supernatural?
Is it Supernatural?
People asked about that?
People ask.
Wow, this is amazing. I don't know who you are, people, but thank you. I am halfway through season 2, so Dean and Sam, I think I'm past the episode where they just fought a bunch of... No, actually, that was first season. All right, there's a girl who's like possessed by a demon, and they pretty much exorcise the demon from her, and she ends up dying. I can't remember what season that is.
You can't.
But it was
they all blend together.
I remember watching a recent episode where a bunch of hillbillies tried to capture people and were hunting them for sport. So that was probably the last episode I saw, I think.
Nice.
For some reason, that really stuck in my head, just like hillbillies chasing people in the woods for sport. I don't know. But I am liking the show, especially the whole angels and demon mythology stuff that's going on. That's in the background. I'm not really a huge fan of Case of the Week. I did see an episode where, I think the last episode I saw was they're investigating like this house that had a couple people die in it, and it turns out some guy like put like this ancient like symbol that's for like Buddhist monks, and if people like it is created through people's minds, so because everyone's watching this online, it just feeds into the legend, so the legend is constantly changing based on what people think about it.
Seems crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting episode.
Crazy.
I think that was the last one I saw.
Really?
Yep. So halfway through season 2.
Oh, I lied. No one asked.
No one did?
No.
Oh, too bad. I got excited for a second there.
I'm sorry. Sorry to get your hopes up.
My Smallville watching is still going slowly now. I moved into my brother's room, so,
Wait,
that took up a lot of room.
what did I say? Supernatural?
Yeah.
I'm at Smallville.
Oh, Smallville.
Whatever. Why? You been watching Supernatural too?
I was last year, but I've fallen off because I started watching Smallville.
So didn't you think... I totally fucked that up. But didn't you think it was weird? Like, why are these people asking about Supernatural?
No, I thought I mentioned Case of the Week when I was talking about Smallville and how it was a little bit through Supernatural. So that's where I thought it came from.
Oh.
Supernatural still has fans, so that's why I thought it was like, oh, someone just found this online.
Oh. All right.
Wishful thinking, folks.
I'm sorry.
You just ruined everything.
I didn't mean to get your hopes up.
But I am going to talk about the year finale of Breaking Bad, because technically it's halfway through the season, because they got 16 episodes for the last season, so they just finished with that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Kind of avoid spoilers to a degree on that one, but we'll leave it to the end.
You want to talk about your big move to your brother's room?
Yeah, pretty much.
Get another bookshelf in your future?
Yeah, I got a bookshelf coming from Adam, who was on the podcast earlier. So.
Is it now so big bookshelf like the other one from...
Yeah, it's about the same size as the Borders one. Wow. He did have one that was 7 feet tall, but that's a little too big for my room, so I'm going with the 6-footer.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You couldn't go for the big 7?
No, I actually filled up most of my bookshelf now. Like, I added, because I've got 2 bookshelves to the left of the bed now, and then I got one at the foot of the bed that's got 3 shelves to it, and then I'll be adding the shelves. I got one that has 2 shelves, and it's kind of pretty long because it's got my TV, an Xbox, and PlayStation on it, so that's going to be moving in soon too, so there's more shelves in the future. But I did get to organize my comics a little bit, so I read all my Green Lanterns, my 12 issues, and one Green Lantern annual that I had, and story got pretty good in those books.
What, were you behind on it?
Yeah, I was behind.
Jesus, what have you been doing?
They just get lost in the stacks of comic books that I have.
How many do you get a week?
20.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's like $45 worth.
Really? That's a week?
Yeah.
That's a lot. I didn't think that cost that
15,
much.
17. Yeah, they're $2.99 an issue, and with Marvel bumping everything up to $3.99, it's really sticking a craw in my plans. I don't know what that means.
Sticking a craw.
I'm just bringing back the craw, and then the annuals, which are like 32 pages of content. They're $4.99 from DC. So
you spend $43 a week on comics?
Generally, yes, $40.
40?
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of a lot.
Yeah, it's not so much the money that's killing me right now. It's the space. I'm losing the space. And then you got to bag and board them if you want to keep them safe. So,
You've been bagging board?
No, I'm behind in that, man. You want to talk about... You think I'm behind in reading. Bagging and boarding, I'm behind. I just stack them up in the long boxes now. I got 4 of them. They're not full yet, though, so thank God.
Do you get them separated out, or?
Yeah, I sort of do, but there's a couple issues that are with like old DC before the relaunch that I have to find those. So it's quite a accomplishment there. All the crap I've accumulated there.
So if you bagged and board everything that you got, like how many long boxes would you have?
It still wouldn't fill the 4 I have.
No. They're not that much thicker with the bags and board.
No. They're about the same size. They just don't bend as easily,
right,
and stuff. But I also have I've got I don't know where I was going. I'm confused. I'm not confused, but I forgot what I was talking about.
Long boxes.
I had a point. Yeah, long boxes, but I had a point about them. Oh yeah, this is like 2 years of getting single issues that I've gotten about. I would say if you filled it all up, it would be 3 long boxes. But since they're separated a little bit, it's 4 right now.
Yeah.
Don't get into comic books, kids. It's a nasty habit.
Go digital if you're gonna do it.
Yeah, go digital and then get the hardcovers when they come out or something.
Yeah.
Because I've got a lot of those.
A lot of hardcovers.
Yeah, pretty much one shelf from Borders is pretty much almost all comic books.
You nerd.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even tell you about the action figures I got. No, we did. We did hear about that.
Why, did you get more?
No, I didn't.
No.
But I think...
You're going to have to get more now. You got more space.
Yeah, I want to get a Batman statue.
like a big one or?
No, not a huge one. Just like a $150 one that's about a foot high.
Is it like a certain like maker you want for?
Yeah, there's a particular one from a Batman artist that I like, Jacques, who actually he drew some Judge Dredd a little bit too.
Jacques.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's something Thompson's last name, some British guy, but that's his artist name, Jacques. You find that a lot with artists. They have like weird names. Like there's one artist I really like, Cafu. I forget what his name is, but it's just Cafu.
Cafu.
Yeah,
that's what he signs his work.
Yeah, so like that's what he's credited as a lot.
It's interesting.
But I like his stuff too.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's get into Lawless.
Let's get in it.
Right? Get in it.
Let's get in it. We're getting in it. So
right.
When did you see it?
I saw this Sunday at 3:45.
3:45.
Yep.
Actually, do you want to do a quick tangent?
Sure. What do you got?
So, well, you went Sunday. So I went to Seekonk Speedway on Sunday.
Yeah.
And the guy
the Motor Speedway.
The Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
Action track of the East, they say.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that.
When they say action track, does that mean there's more crashes?
I don't know, but I am going to talk about a crash, and it will be up on YouTube eventually.
Brutal. Did you film it?
I did.
Oh, so this will be on our YouTube.
Our YouTube.
Wow.
The guy hit the wall and then broke the wall.
The wall just toppled over?
No, it was shattered, though. It didn't fall over, but it was broken. It was unbelievable. It was like there's a bridge.
Now, is this stock cars or?
No, these are all like demolition cars and shitbox cars.
Yeah.
So the car, they have a bridge there, and that's where they get on and off the track.
Yeah.
And so the wall is kind of more flat, and it's in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So the wall is a lot more flat. And a lot of times, like if you ride the wall, you would skip past the opening and be just fine.
Yeah.
Well, the way this guy came up, he came up and like wouldn't be like what you would consider like turning off the track.
Yeah.
And he fucking like he was being pushed by someone else.
Yeah.
And was losing traction. Fucking nailed the wall. Like unbelievable.
Did they flip over at all?
Didn't flip. But they
get some air?
Not really. It did lift the car up, and then he flew back on the track. They had to cut the roof off the car to get the guy out.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's like there's no safety. Like all they wear is just the regular seatbelt.
Really?
Yeah.
This sounds very dangerous.
And they take out like all the airbags and stuff.
Why do they take out the airbags? Just because they're hard to get out once they're around, or
no? Because sometimes airbags
you can break arms.
Yeah, do more damage than good.
Yeah.
And like you're racing, so you know.
This is always, like a bump could happen and things go off. Now, in normal NASCAR stock cars, do they have airbags?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, but there's like in NASCAR, you get the 5-point harness, and then you
get the helmet too.
The guy had a helmet on. You have the helmet, but they have the Hans device, so you can't get the Dale Earnhardt thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which basically means your
blocks in your like neck area, right?
Right. Well, his brain got pulled off his spinal cord.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So
it didn't even the thing about the Earnhardt crash. It doesn't even look like a real bad crash.
No, it doesn't. But it's very similar to this guy's crash.
Oh,
except
really?
Earnhardt was going way faster.
Yeah.
And so like we see him hitting the car sliding down the track. Like you can't even see the guy. Like the guy like fell to the side or something. Like you could see his seat in his car. So
it looks like just a empty car.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
It's pretty fucking crazy. It was like unbelievable.
Well, I can't wait to see the video, which will be on youtube.com/addictpodcast.
Yeah,
right?
Actually, I got a lot of video from the race, so I was going to just put it all up there.
Yeah, all right. If people are interested, they know where to find it now, right?
Yep.
That's pretty nuts, though. Was that the only crash, or
there were some other ones, but that was the only like really
major
good
one?
Yeah, I mean, there's those like other people getting hit, but they never like stopped the race. They had cut people out of the car.
So like the other accidents, it's just like they just got wheeled off the track.
A lot of times they just leave the dead cars.
Oh, really?
Until like they do the next race. So like there's a guy sitting right in the middle of the track having people go by on each side. But
that's nuts.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, but that's just the way they do it. So
maybe that's why they call it the action track.
Maybe, I don't know why. It's not the greatest track because it's like there's really no like true straightaway because you're always kind of turning.
Yeah,
because it's so small.
Yeah,
it's only a third of a mile.
So there's not a lot of speed then.
Right. I don't know how fast they go, but the guy hit it pretty fucking hard. It was a huge car too. It was like some 70s car.
Oh, nice.
So someone said he broke his legs, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, It's pretty brutal, though.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, it sounds like you had an adventure.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a good time. Not too bad. So, all right, Lawless. Let's get into it.
So, while you were watching people risk their lives in screaming metal death traps,
yes.
I was watching a movie.
What time did you go?
I went at 3:45, and so far in the crowd, one instance of a phone going off, but on the whole, a pretty good crowd. So I'm happy about that.
I had a great crowd. I went at 12:30 today, Monday.
Yeah. Well, it probably wasn't that full, right?
No, there was more people than I thought there would be.
Well, Labor Day is a movie watching day, I guess. I don't know.
And I don't know. The box office wouldn't suggest that.
Yeah, no. I think it was more the amount, the content that was out there.
There was a lot of fucking movies that came out.
Yeah, but nothing that really.
I mean, some of them were
talking,
stupid.
You know?
There's like 3, 4. There's like 4 movies.
Yeah, there's always a lot what is it? A lot of like horror movies around this time, you know, like, and those are cheap to produce, and I don't think people see them as much. You know, a horror movie, you're guaranteed at least 20 million, I think.
Yeah.
If it's from a major studio. But I mean, like Lawless, which is what would you classify it as? Just a crime western almost.
Yeah.
Because it's not really western.
It's not because it's not far enough ago.
Yeah. Well, it's not so. Well, the time period is the 30s, right? No, it's the 20s, late 20s.
It was the 30s.
It was the 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it was like 30, right?
Yeah.
1930.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's western elements though. It feels like a western a little bit.
Yeah, because you had like that the girl, and he ends up wanting. She seems pretty like kind of like Amish.
Yeah, or just there's the one love interest for Shia LaBeouf's character who's very Amish, or just like those type of uber religious fundamentalist type thing.
Like she couldn't drive in his car.
Yeah, and she couldn't wear certain clothing that was too colorful.
Where would I wear this?
Yeah,
but my audience was really good. And like, there's probably 20 people in there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I had probably 15, so I was in a Lux level too, so I did hear some clattering of the silverware. Clattering. Yeah, I was only at the beginning though, so thankfully.
No, I'll give it. I mean, it was a quiet movie, so you would hear that a lot.
Yeah.
No, I'd say the audience was good though. So let's get into it though. What'd you think of it?
All right, let's just quick overview on the movie though, because I feel like we don't do that enough.
Yeah.
So it's basically about the Bondurant brothers, these 3 brothers who are moonshiners up in Appalachia, and then they're getting like there's a guy in charge of the county, Franklin County, who's like trying to extort them to a degree, almost like, hey, you guys can keep what you're doing, but I want 20% or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're like, no, we're the Bondurant boys. We don't stand down for nobody. That thing, a lot of thick accents.
Yeah. Some of it was hard to understand.
Yeah. There was a lot of like, especially Tom Hardy's character, who's like the middle brother. He's kind of the brains because the eldest brother went to war.
Oh, was he the drunk? He was the older brother.
Yep, he was.
I didn't see. They didn't really. I thought Francis.
No, Jack.
Jack is Shia LaBeouf,
and then Francis is the older brother, and then Forrest, yeah. No, it's not Francis. The older brother, I forget his name.
Yeah, but whatever. Forrest. I thought Forrest was the oldest, but he's not.
No, Forrest is the middle.
Oh,
middle child.
That's interesting.
But yeah, like there's basically like a local legend about them, is that like the one guy, I think Howard maybe was the oldest brother's name. I forget. The oldest brother went to war, and he was like the only one who came back with his unit in World War I. So he's like a kind of an alcoholic now, a functioning alcoholic. And then Forrest was like, he got like a sick with pneumonia. He got sick with some type of disease that came through, like a plague. Not plague, but like a flu. So he survived, and then they're like, so everyone's saying, these Bondurant boys, they're indestructible. So it's kind of that like whole storyline throughout it about, are they indestructible? What is
Howard.
Myth type thing? Howard?
Yeah.
I knew it was something with an H.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Jack, who's the youngest. Like the movie starts out like they have to kill a pig.
Yeah.
And like Jack won't do it, so he's like kind of the wimp, the runt of the litter, as one of the characters calls him. But basically, so they're getting pushed out by this crooked county guy and then this special deputy who's trying to like shut him down. So that's basically the movie. It's basically them,
they tried to shut him down only because he wouldn't take the bribe.
Yeah. Yep. So they're like, well, you want to take the bribe? We're enforcing the law.
Yeah. Well, he's not really enforcing because he's kind of ruthless. Like he'll kill people for like no reason, really.
He will, yes, but they are technically enforcing the law, but they're also breaking it. So it's a corrupt deputy guy.
Yeah.
But he's played by Guy Pearce, who I thought was really awesome. He was one of the better guys, just like a slimy guy from
Oddly
Chicago.
Enough, his name is Charlie.
What was it?
Yeah.
Just like Charlie, very slimy and oily, and everyone remarks about him smelling weird because he wears like perfume and stuff. But he's got some pretty brutal scenes in this, like when he like beats up Jack at the beginning
that was
to like send a message.
That was a good fucking scene.
Yeah, he just like keeps punching him in the face and stuff.
He punched him in the face and then he fucking like knocks his teeth out with the gun.
Yeah, and then he has teeth later on. Like I thought, when we saw him later on, he's got a few bruises. Yeah. But he definitely doesn't look as bad as you thought he would.
No, he was pretty fucked up during that scene though. It was crazy.
Yeah. See, there's the blood for you. That's why it's rated R.
Yeah.
And then there's another scene later on where Forrest, the middle one, he gets like his throat slit and he's just like almost dying. He's just holding it in there. Yeah.
I think what's Forrest's real name?
The actor?
Yeah.
Tom Hardy. He played Bane in The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and he plays it with a really thick like Appalachian Southern accent type.
Yeah.
He's like Bondurant boys, we don't stand down for anything.
No.
Yeah.
I like his voice though, his thick accent voice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's tough to understand what they're saying a little bit, but you get the gist of it a lot. And the thing I like about this movie is it has such a feeling of you're in this place, like this place actually exists and this is a community that exists. And it's based on actual true events. It's based on a book, The Wettest County in the World, by a Bondurant, who is like, he researched his family and what they did. So he wrote this book, and that's what it's based on. But it reminds me of the movie, there's this movie, Winter's Bone, which is like, it's a sort of noir detective where this girl's like trying to find out what happened to her father, and turns out he's dead or whatever. But that movie also like it shows like this isolated community, and it does a really good job with that. So I was reminded of that movie while watching this.
Yeah, but you really felt like you felt in touch with like the scene.
Yeah, like even when things where accents were thick and I couldn't understand it, I still like understood what was going on, and it felt like I was just watching, like I'm just peeping in on the world.
Really?
Almost.
Because I didn't have that same thing.
Oh, what do you think about it?
I thought it was okay, but like some of this, like I felt like they breezed over a lot of stuff, like the way Jack became, started coming uprising and stuff, and about
how Jack sort of tried to be a
be
a guy selling moonshine, because he goes up to like this town and he's like trying to sell to Gary Oldman's character, he's like a real gangster guy. Yeah. But yeah, they're gonna kill him, and then he's like, "I'm a Bondurant," and then like Gary Oldman like ends up selling it to him, and then he's like talking to the guy, "I don't want to start. I got all these guys in my pocket. I don't want to start a blood feud with a bunch of Southern hicks," and then he just bashes the dude who was gonna kill him with a shovel.
Yeah,
which is pretty brutal when that happened.
But like, yeah, I mean, that scene showed it, but they didn't show, like, they showed them right after that, and, like, they do, like, really quick scenes. Like, they play the music. I don't know what you call that, but... Yeah. But then they show them driving around, like, really fancy cars and, like, having nice clothes and stuff, and they don't really show a whole lot of how that happened. And they
kind of slowly build up to it, where he's trying to court... Bertha is the girl who's like the preacher's daughter, and he's like wearing his dad's suit that's pretty nice, but then he borrows his brother's car after his brother gets his throat slit, and then starts selling it. And then I got that he was like just selling more of it. Like there's a lot of montages in this movie, with like music playing and stuff of them like traveling places and stuff, and selling it.
I don't know. I think they could have. I don't know. I just felt very like they could
abrupt.
Yeah, and then they like the federal officer there.
The Guy Pearce's one.
Yeah.
The Charlie Rankins. Or
Special
something.
officer.
Yeah, Charlie.
Something.
Special Deputy Charlie.
Yeah.
Something.
And they didn't show like they show him going after all the Bondurant people, but they didn't show him taking down like anyone else and stuff. Like,
well, the other everyone else is a scene at the beginning where they actually end up taking
the bribe.
Yeah, well, not giving the bribe. Well, giving a cut to the guy, so they like bend over for this crooked politician, and like the Bondurants don't. So it's kind of tension between Forrest is very much like, what are you guys doing? You guys are bending over to these guys. We should fight these guys. And there's a cool scene at the end after a bunch of stuff happens where like the town sort of comes behind these guys, and like they end up fighting the Charlie special deputy guy. Like there's like one of the best scenes I thought in the movie was the whole shootout at the end.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Those guys are such a bad shot. It's ridiculous.
They're not that good at guns, and people are also like driving all over the place.
The 30s,
shooting.
They had decent guns in the 30s.
But nobody had Tommy guns in that scene. Everyone
I agree,
had like
no one
old
had,
like muskets and stuff.
No,
and,
they
guns.
had regular like handguns.
Yeah, a few of them had handguns.
Who had a musket? I didn't see one.
Well, not
musket.
I mean rifles. They had rifles.
Yeah, they had like
not flintlock. I mean the older one, not older ones, newer rifles.
Yeah, but like there is a lot of bullets flying and not a lot of people getting hit.
Yeah, no, I thought they did good in movies. They always show it like people are the best shots imaginable and every bullet hits, but I think this is more accurate in that there's a lot in actual shootouts. There's a lot of bullets that go everywhere, and not everyone gets shot immediately in the head. And
I agree. Dies. I agree. Not everyone gets shot, but the amount of people they had like 8 people on one side and like 15 on the other.
Yeah, well, a lot of them weren't actually like shooting. Like some of the deputy were trying to like hold fire, and they actually, one of the deputy guys who actually lives in the town ends up turning on Charlie and shooting him in the leg. So that could have been a thing where no one really wanted to hit each other except for they wanted to get Charlie.
Right, that was a good scene though. When he shot him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then the other brother Howard just comes up behind him and just like guts him right in the back. Yeah, and then like Forrest takes like 3 bullets right in the chest, and you think he's dying, and then later on, like after that scene, it cuts to like 1940. Yeah, and it's like, oh, he's dead, and Shia LaBeouf's character marries Bertha. Howard actually gets married. Oh, and Forrest is still alive. Yeah, they do a good job of it though, of him being still alive. It's like, oh, okay, he's still alive. Like you kind of get a feeling like maybe the shootout was kind of like exaggerated, almost, and that like maybe that wasn't as nuts as it was, but it felt that nuts, so that's why they show it that way. But there's also a pretty good thing with Forrest, and he's like sort of legendary being invincible, and like he gets his throat cut. And then everyone's talking about how he walked like 15 miles with his throat cut to town. And like even he starts believing it. But then you find out he was actually driven there by this girl who shows up, who works at the bar. And they're kind of together. But like she was the one who actually drove him there and like saved his life. And he like started to believe his own legend. It was a gas station. Yeah, gas station was where they work. And there was also like a bar at the gas station too.
Well, I would call that like a diner.
A cafe diner. Yeah, it was definitely a diner type thing. But there's some brutal stuff in this movie though, violence wise. Yeah. Did you have anything you really didn't like in it?
No, not really. It's just that like I felt like some of the story parts kind of like got breezed over.
Yeah, I felt there was like a lack of plot for like half the movie.
The beginning half? Like, I thought it got much better.
No, I thought, like, the beginnings, I don't really have a problem with less plot. Like, I'm not a big guy who cares about plot too much. But I did feel like some people won't like that, is that it starts off at the beginning, they're moonshining, and then they're sort of like, oh, you guys need to fall in line with this crooked politician guy and pay up. And then they don't. And then it just kind of kind of meanders along to the final confrontation, but there's no real like narrative push throughout the movie. Really,
I thought it was like weird, like so, like after after he got his throat cut, like Jack took over, like running the bootlegging, and then like what did Francis just sit back and let it?
Howard.
Forrest.
Forrest had his neck was stitched up there.
Right. After he got his neck cut.
And they did get revenge against those guys too.
Yeah, they did.
Pretty brutally.
Yeah,
there's a lot of just cutting and slicing people up.
Yeah. But like, then Jack did the run while he was like recovering, and then like Forrest never, like, you never see him like really get back into the game. Was he just wait? Or
I guess they just let the brother do it all because maybe that's how he gets like all the nice suits and stuff.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the sort of like romance between Shia LaBeouf's character Jack and then Bertha Mia Wachowski, who was in Alice in Wonderland? She was in that.
I don't know. It was okay, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was like just padding almost to the movie because she was sort of rebellious against her father, but they don't really go into that too much.
No, they didn't show, like, if based upon what you saw in the movie, other than that they end up together at the end.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she's rebellious in any way.
Yeah. I mean, she does drive off with Jack once, and they don't really get into this love story. It's more just how like foolish and kind of like naive Jack is sort of throughout it. And the movie sort of is about Jack becoming less naive and like sort of taking ownership of his actions and stuff and having to commit violence to protect his family and stuff and revenge. But it feels like a almost like a legend almost that you just hear about. Oh, these legendary brothers who stuck it to the government in this backwoods or whatever.
It must have been tough though, because like they show the movie in 1930, and then Prohibition was over in 33, and like they're making all this money selling bootleg,
and then it's just gone.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they make a little comment about Jack farming afterwards, but they don't show any of that. It's just like, oh, I went to farm where my daddy was.
I mean, they probably still sell some liquor here and there, but nowhere near as what they were making before.
Yeah, especially when it's like there's like actual corporations like bottling and stuff at that point. But yeah, it's definitely a crazy time in America there. With
to this day, they still fucking make backwoods liquor, but I don't know why.
Yeah, people like to do it by themselves.
I think the biggest reason, it's like
taxes.
It's taxes and it's ungodly strong.
Yeah. Yeah, like there was another movie I saw, young adult, that has Patton Oswalt in it, and he's like brewing his own beer in his garage. So I don't know. Some people like to do that, I guess, but no one really sells it though illegally, do they?
What, beer?
Yeah,
beer is different because you can buy beer brewing kits.
Yeah,
you can't
but like moonshine, like alcohol.
You can't make hard alcohol.
Yeah. Well, you probably can. I mean, it's probably regulated, right?
Yeah. So I always wanted to make it though. I kind of made my own distilled, and I was looking I made my own. I got bored one night, and so I was looking online for recipes.
Yeah.
And it's like I couldn't find anything. All of it's like 15 gallons or like fucking like ridiculous amount. I wanted to make like a gallon.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. It's like you need 300 pounds of potatoes. I'm like, fuck that.
It's a lot of potatoes.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, but Attic Podcast scale, where we weigh it down?
I would probably give it a 5.5.
Yeah, that's what I was leaning towards too. I talked to Sandy earlier, who was supposed to be on the podcast, but
did he see it?
No, he didn't see it.
Oh.
But I was saying it's kind of a 5.5. He seemed disappointed in that, and I was like,
it looked better, honestly, in my opinion, from the previews.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it met my expectations because it was kind of a situation where within I was telling him within the crime.
You said 5.5.
Yeah. Right. But within the crime genre, like that's such a like almost everything in that is really good. Like you have Godfather, Goodfellas, like Taxi Driver, those type of things. They're all really show really great crime movies, and this one has a lot to live up to. So in that pantheon, it kind of struggles. But in terms of like having really good acting between Tom Hardy and like other characters. And there's another character, Cricket, who dies.
Oh yeah.
He was the kid who in Chronicle who gets the powers and goes nuts and kills
that was
everyone.
him.
Yeah, that's the same actor.
Yeah, now I see it.
So he's actually, from those 2 movies I've seen him in, I thought he's been a pretty good actor.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, there's no weak link in the actors. Like, some people will maybe say Shia LaBeouf isn't up to it.
I think he was very good.
Yeah, I thought he played the character perfectly. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if Shia LaBeouf has a lot of range to be in a lot of different movies, but for this particular movie, he was cast perfectly.
Yeah. I thought he did really well.
Yeah. And this is also the second time John Hillcoat has teamed up with the writer Nick Cave, who's also a musician. And John Hillcoat directed, there's this Australian movie, The Proposition, which is pretty good. It's like a Western in Australia. And then he did The Road recently, that movie. So this is all the third movie he's done. It's also the third time Guy Pearce has been in his movie. So Guy Pearce has been in every movie he's done. So I like that when directors team up with actors and they kind of keep them around, even if it's for bit parts.
You like that, huh?
Yeah.
Why?
Like, I don't know, because I like the fact of thinking that it's just like a bunch of friends getting together and just like making cool stories and stuff. Like Quentin Tarantino always has Samuel L. Jackson in his movies, and like I like the fact that people always like remember who they started making these movies with, you know. But yeah, I thought it was not great, but good. Good, solid movie.
Did you think it was gonna be better from the previews?
No, I got what I expected.
You did?
Yeah,
I was hoping it'd be. I think because the lack of the story a little bit disappointed me.
Yeah. All right. Well,
did you think it was slow at all?
No, not at all. Because I was sort of enthralled with the whole like soundscape of it, like the music that they had. They had a couple. They actually had a few amount of what are those called? Montages with like music set to them, and I wasn't bothered by them at all because I was kind of like so into the movie.
Yeah.
And I like a movie that has good drama and then like pretty good action scenes. And there's a lot of good action scenes in this.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, so go see Lawless because no one else did.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Did you have any good reviews?
They showed another trailer for The Master, which is Paul Thomas Anderson. He did There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights, same director. That looks really good.
It does look good, opinion. Yeah. I got that too.
Yeah. Philip Seymour Hoffman, awesome. Every movie he's awesome in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yep.
I got the preview there with Tom Cruise. No, what the fuck's his name? Brad Pitt. God.
Oh, Kill Them Softly?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah. That might be a little slow though. Did you ever see Assassination of Jesse James?
No.
Oh, it's a Western, but it's like sort of really slow, so I don't know if you'd like it, but it's the same director as that, Andrew Dominic. So
what exactly is The Master about? So like
he's pretty much it's about a guy who comes back from World War II and he pretty much has post-traumatic stress disorder, so he's kind of dealing with that, and he gets sort of like picked up with this like sort of cult leader, not necessarily cult leader, but like a religious guy who's part of like this just like sort of religious movement at the time after the post-war years, and like it's basically about that, like the cult, how the cult works and stuff, and like being in a cult.
So you think it's gonna be great though?
Yeah. His last movie, There Will Be Blood, I thought was one of the best movies of the decade.
Really?
Yeah. That movie's amazing.
I have to check that out then.
In my opinion. My humble opinion, There Will Be Blood. It's not as good as There Will Be Blondes, but hey.
Oh, I'm sure they made that.
And they did. Every time I bring up There Will Be Blood, Sandy's always like, "Oh, you mean There Will Be Blondes?" Because it's an actual porno, apparently.
Really? What? Did Sandy find it?
Yeah. I don't think he's seen it, though. He's just seen the title.
Oh. That's great. I love porn.
We'll get a review on that from Sandy.
Yeah.
Sandy review, There Will Be Blondes.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So what else were we talking about?
Newsroom.
What'd you think? What are we just talking? Final episode, whole season?
Well, let's just do the whole season since we missed the final episode.
We never really talked about any of it, did we?
Not really.
No.
Yeah. So
I was skeptical at first going into it because I never watched West Wing.
All right, I haven't either.
You didn't either?
No, that's the one I need to watch.
Jesus. That wasn't on sale at Blockbuster or whatever. Not Blockbuster.
No, it wasn't on sale at Best Buy. I wonder if that's on Blu-ray. I should get the complete set.
I would think so.
I should get the complete set.
How many seasons is that?
There's
a couple.
Or 11.
Why do you do this to yourself?
I know Sorkin left like the last 3 seasons.
Why do you do this to yourself?
What do you mean?
Fucking get in there for a 10, 11 season.
Those are the good shows, man.
I don't know.
I got a lot of 1-season shows like Undeclared, Freaks and Geeks, Firefly.
I want to watch your Firefly.
Yeah, that show's good. I should get that on Blu-ray. I'm just going nuts.
You go nuts.
I should have got that. That was actually on sale for like $13. I don't know why.
That's totally worth it.
It's on Netflix though.
You're out of control.
But there are commentary tracks on it, so I should get that.
Commentary tracks.
Yeah, that's how they reel me in.
Oh. So I was a little skeptical because I didn't watch West Wing and
you're not big into politics either.
I'm not big at all into politics.
Do you even watch the news?
No.
I don't watch it anymore.
Sometimes
I used to watch it a lot.
Sometimes I turn it on in the mornings, but mostly it's just
background noise.
Just either that or see the weather. Oh. I'm afraid, like, honestly, the biggest reason I don't want to stay into politics because people get fucking pissed off when you're not on their same train of thought.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And like
people, there's a lot of insulting people based on what are you retarded?
Yeah,
why are you voting for that?
It's basically, have you ever had a conversation with Charlie about it?
Yeah. What Obama?
I mean, I can understand because like watching Newsroom and stuff like when they did the whole when they wanted to change how they interview the candidates.
Yeah, for the debate.
Yeah, like I thought he was 100% right.
Yeah, but that's never going to happen. No one agrees to those type of demands because they don't want to appear the fool.
Right. And they would look like an idiot because, like, that question that I asked him, like, well, what has changed? What freedoms did you lose? And he's like, well, because of the Obamacare or whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, well, did you have to change your doctor? And he's like, no. And so he's like, so nothing happened to you.
Yeah. But like it changed for some people though, so that would be their argument. But there's always that's the thing about politics. There's always like some way of being like, no, I didn't say it. I didn't mean the way I said it. It depends on your definition of is. That's Bill Clinton said that.
Really?
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah.
Depends on your definition of is.
It depends on what you think. It depends on your definition of what. It depends on what the definition of the word is. Yeah, Bill Clinton.
Well,
I did not have sexual relations with that Lewinsky woman. We had oral sex. That was it. It's not sex. Thank you, Bill.
Well, he was. I don't know.
He wasn't that bad of a president.
Yeah, everyone says that though. Like he cheated or whatever. But like,
yeah, no. Well, the thing the Republicans always bring up is that he lied under oath and said he didn't have sexual relations. So that's why they impeached him. But they didn't vote him out. So that was a waste of time. And now we got saddled with this debt crisis and mess.
Yeah. I mean, everyone says
it's depressing when you talk about politics.
But that's the biggest reason why I kind of stay away from it because, like, I feel like I would become very opinionated with it.
Yes.
Which is probably not good because sometimes I'm pretty headstrong on some things.
Yeah, politics is a mess.
I mean, it's one thing I take a stand with cars quite a bit. I'm like, you're an idiot. I don't care what you say.
Yeah. Just think about that. That's politics.
Like, and so, like, I sometimes, like, car guys can be pretty bad, but, like,
I don't want to talk about car guys. Talk about comic guys. These guys, they're so set in their ways, been reading the same books for 30 years. And they're like, Peter Parker's black now. No, it's an alternative universe, and Peter Parker died. And Miles says, no, this is I am reading it. My Spider-Man ain't black.
My Spider-Man ain't black.
That ain't my Spider-Man.
So, I don't know. That's the biggest reason why I stay away from it. However, though, like, sometimes on some of the Newsroom episodes, like, I feel like, because, like, when they do the certain dates or whatever, I feel like if I don't know the event already, it's a little tough for me to follow.
Yeah, but that's, I think, a problem with the Newsroom is that it kind of relies too heavily on actual events, and it's just like, all right, you guys all know what's going to happen, so let's argue about this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I think, like, it'd be nice sometimes if they, like, I don't know, like, the only way, I don't know how they would do it, because they would have to, like, say, like, all right, on this episode, Newsroom, this is going to happen, and then...
Or they could, have facts at the bottom.
Yeah,
like
I don't know how they would do it, but I mean the way they do
educate
it
you people
with like the events. Yeah, because it'd be I don't know, or maybe it'd be nice if they put it in like the title of the show, so I can like read a wiki page on it before.
Before this episode takes place on the 22nd, we will be talking about Gabrielle Giffords getting shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the only one that I really knew the best was the oil spill.
Oh, yeah. Deepwater Horizon.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Yeah. Never remember.
Never forget, never remember.
So,
but my problem with that show is it is preachy at times. It's like, this is the way we should be doing it. Why aren't we doing this way? And like, I understand to sort of push for that, but in terms of like an entertainment show, I don't know if that's the best place for it.
You mean you think it's too preachy?
Yeah, and I completely agree with everything they say on that show.
Yeah, I mean, I do think as the season continued, it got a little bit more preachier than the beginning ones, didn't you think?
Yeah, and like towards the middle half of the season, there's definitely episodes that were almost exclusively about why the Tea Party is completely wrong and a bunch of wackos.
Like, I'm gonna sound like an idiot now. Like, I don't even know what the Tea Party really is.
It's an insurgent wing of the Republican Party that pretty much has they showed up in the Republican primaries and stuff and kicked out incumbent Republicans and stuff to get people who even further to the right who would not work with Obama at all. So that's pretty much why Congress has been at a standstill, is because these guys showed up and they're like, they've taken Obama's ruined everything. Medicare got passed. Everybody's angry about that. Let us bunch of radicals in here. And then they just showed up and they've sort of like pretty much pivoted the Republican Party way to the right, where before it was sort of closer to the middle, especially under Bush. Like, Bush actually had a pretty good job of crossover between independents and Republicans, but the parties kind of switched gears so much because a lot of those people don't like Bush that much either, because he sort of expanded government in a big way in a lot of different agencies, and also spending and war. He brought and like started the Iraq war, Afghanistan. But Afghanistan, everyone supported, but now they don't because it's a mess. But it's a mess. The whole thing's
that's over though, isn't it? Kind of.
No, we still have 68,000 troops in Afghanistan.
Oh, that's it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Or 6,800. I'm gonna stop saying facts. I don't really know. We got a lot of troops over there right now. Still, we have less in Iraq though, but that's irrelevant. But also another thing I don't like about the show is they kind of make all the women characters seem pretty manic. Like they're kind of like 1 minute they're fine, and then they're like, "Gather ye rosebuds, Dan. Yeah. I told you to gather ye rosebuds. Why didn't you gather ye rosebuds? Don Quixote." Yeah, it's like why are you yelling these things?
Well, it's only what's her name.
Mackenzie.
Yeah, Mackenzie and the other one there.
The one that's kind of with Jim, but not with Jim. With Don, but should be with Jim. And Mackenzie's like, he's read the wrong person.
Yeah. It's really them two, because like the only other, like, they have, what's her name, Sloane? Yeah. She's good.
Yeah, Olivia Munn has actually done a really good job on this show.
She's pretty level-headed. She doesn't really freak out.
Except a few times when, like, Dev Patel's character, the Indian guy.
Oh, yeah. That was funny as shit.
Yeah. It's like, do I have a big butt? Does it look big? And it's like shaking him. No, I don't know.
It's pretty good.
I was in Slumdog Millionaire. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. For the main two female leads, it's definitely a lot of that.
It's crazy, but I think that's just like, it is kind of bad that they do that, and like.
But they seem to be the only ones who really like flip out. Well, Will McAvoy, Jeff Daniels' character, has a little bit.
Yeah, he does sometimes.
Well, instead of going nuts, he just like can't get his legs in pants and falls over.
Yeah, that was funny.
One episode.
Yeah, that was funny.
He's like falls out of his office because he can't get his pants on.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic though.
Yeah. On this show, I've liked him a lot.
Yeah.
Like even when he like the finale, right? He almost died, right? And he was just in the hospital wing, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm tired. I give up. No one supports what I do. I'm a hack." Yeah. And I do kind of like the fact that they, with the romance angle, they kind of get into how messy people actually are with romance.
Yeah.
Like how people will like stay with people they shouldn't be with just because they don't want to hurt that person, and it ends up making it worse probably.
Right.
Or like people will lie about getting back together with someone because that other person's taken, so they'll settle for this other person type thing.
I mean, do you think like my mom said like she can't stand the show, but because she thinks like Mackenzie Cleo, like she thinks she's overacting.
Is she? I don't think so. I think it's more how she's written.
You think that's the way she's supposed to play?
Yeah.
You don't think she's overacting?
No, I
mean, after she said that, like I didn't think that at first, and like after that, I'm like thinking about it, seeing her like freak out on screen. I'm like, yeah, I guess maybe she could, because like she's like a total like 180.
Yeah, and then she's like, they're talking about economics. She's like, wait, what were you talking about? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
But I mean, the show has such like quick and like back and forth dialogue and stuff, and it does get funny at times. There's a lot of funny barbs.
There is some
stuff,
good
jokes.
spots. Yeah.
I
really enjoy it though.
Yeah, I'm happy there's a second season, because some of these things, like inconsistent female characters mostly, hopefully they'll like iron it out in the second season and be twice as better.
Yeah.
So I'm happy they got a second season.
No, that's good. Glad.
Yeah.
So we got Boardwalk Empire coming up soon though.
Yeah, that's like next week or the week after.
Really?
Yeah, it's real close.
Shit.
So look for that, people. Boardwalk.
Yeah, coming up. Should be good because Jimmy Domedy died.
Yeah, we get James Domedy.
Yeah.
I think it's like 6 months or a year after that.
Oh,
like
really?
We get into full swing of prohibition and like how it is. I think it's like 6 months to a year or something.
Oh.
Maybe 3. Could have been 3 years.
After?
Yeah, maybe. Because the first episode of the show starts right at the beginning of prohibition. And then the season gets like halfway through, right? Halfway through the year.
Yeah.
And then it closes out the year with Jimmy dying and like stuff. So
I can't believe he died. I was just so surprised because he seemed like such a main character.
Yeah, but they did. I loved his story. I thought it was really great how they revealed more and more about his character and why he went over to the Great War and stuff and fought in that, and then why he like came back, and like how Nucky didn't necessarily he treated him like a father initially, but then his actual father started treating him like a father to get back at Nucky, and he was like torn between his two fathers almost. Right. And like he was a very conflicted person throughout it, and like he kind of gave up at the end there. Because he knew where he was going and he was probably going to die, and he didn't even bring a gun.
Right.
Stuff. So I really loved his character throughout that show.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. And then we got a couple new shows that I'm excited for. I hope you watch Revolution and Last Resort. Revolution's the one where like the power goes out and electronics don't work.
That's going to get canceled, you said.
No, I said Last Resort's going to get canceled. The submarine one. I'm actually more hopeful.
It's a submarine movie?
No, it's the submarine show.
And that's why I meant show.
Yeah. But they're off the submarine and they're on an island and they got nuclear weapons.
Wait, has this been airing now?
No, it starts next week or the week after, the 12th, September 12th.
You're going to have to keep me posted on
September 11th. No, September 10th, I think. I think it's a Tuesday on ABC. I'll tell you about these. And then Revolution starts on NBC soon too.
You have to keep me updated.
Yes. So look forward to those two shows because those are the one I'm pushing. And Arrow on CW, which is the Green Arrow one. So hopefully you watch that, Kimball.
Yeah,
there's hot chicks.
Hot chicks.
Yeah. And any women out there, I know you're not listening to this podcast, but the dude has his shirt off a lot.
Hey now.
Hey.
So, did you play any? I played some more Dust this week.
No, I haven't played any video games. I read Green Lantern. That's what I did.
Oh.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Continues to be good. Jeff Johns.
Took you that long to read 12 issues?
Yeah, I did it all today while I was waiting for Lawless to be time to watch it. I don't know. Yep.
Yep. So, all right.
Let me talk about Breaking Bad real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I did see the year finale of Breaking Bad. And
how many seasons are they on?
This is 5.
This 5?
Yeah, this is what they're on right now is 5. They're halfway through season 5, and there's the mid-season break here.
Oh, so shit.
So next year's coming back.
My parents are gonna catch up probably.
Yes, they will, and
because they're on 5. They fucking like I went
marathoned it.
Yeah, Friday night I went out to. I don't know if we don't need to talk about that. I went out in town in Boston to a club. And actually, it's actually a Chinese food restaurant. Like the first floor is the restaurant.
Oh, so what's the Chinese? Is it like
no.
Okay.
The second floor is like the bar, and the third floor is the dance floor. But like, it's like pretty damn small for like Cambridge.
Yeah.
And like it was tight, but whatever.
They had some tight women there.
There was some, yeah.
Tight.
There was like you had to go through.
I hate that term. First
tight?
of all, I'm just gonna say it tight.
It was awesome. There's a kid wearing a T-shirt at the racetrack. It said "Bitches be tripping," and it was like a stick figure tripping over a rock. And she had like it had long hair. I was like, that is a pretty funny shirt.
Yeah,
I liked it. But so I didn't get home until like 2:30 or something like that, 3:00. And like I walk in and they're fucking still watching Breaking Bad.
It's a really good show.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. And like, yeah, we kind of marathoned a few episodes tonight.
Yeah. Hey, it keeps you going, especially when you don't have commercials. It's like awesome.
Really? I'm gonna have to get into it.
Yeah, because how they ended this the cliffhanger they have for this year ending episode, like this isn't going to come back to like July, I think.
Oh really?
So, oh my God, it was some guy finds out something about the main character, Walt White, and it's just like, oh God, what's going to happen next? It's pretty good. And you really love the show, how it constantly, like throughout the whole series, is kind of about hating the main character more and more. Like you want him to die more and more. And then somehow they kind of reverse it and you kind of want to root for him again. Like how they, in this final episode, is like, I kind of forgot all the bad things he did. I was like, oh, he's finally made the right choice. Everything's going to work out. And then bam, something happens and you're like, oh God, what's going to happen now? So that show's just amazing. I don't want to get into specifics, but it's just really good.
You don't want to get into specifics?
No, I don't want to spoil anything because the show's amazing.
It is good.
I saw someone tweet earlier today. They said The Wire, Sopranos, and Breaking Bad, the holy trinity of television.
The Wire, Sopranos, and Breaking Bad?
Yep.
Did you watch The Sopranos?
No, I need to watch that.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about that. And I've seen the first season of The Wire, which was amazing. And I'm halfway through season 2 of The Wire. That's only 5 seasons.
Right.
I need to get on that.
What do you do with your life?
I don't know. I watch Smallville and buy action figures and just be generally depressing.
Well, on that note, you can check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Attic Podcast.
You can like us at Facebook at facebook.com/Attic Podcast.
You can also rate and review us on iTunes.
Yeah, please do that. That helps us out a lot.
You can find us at atticpodcast.com.
Yes.
You can
send links there.
You can tweet us. You might hear. That's the only way you can hear from Charlie.
Yeah. Because Charlie doesn't show up anymore.
So he occasionally does some tweeting, I guess.
Yeah.
Have you checked out Pinster yet?
What's Pinster? I forgot what that was.
The new social network.
Oh. No. I'm not into that yet. I'm sorry.
Neither am I.
I'm not very social.
Except
when I go on my internet forums and talk with people about comics.
Do you post?
Yeah, I post a bit.
Oh, you nerd.
I go to lasertimepodcast.com. Check me out, Rogue Bomber. Just saying. Laser Time Podcast. Listen to it. It's fun.
Do you like it?
Creep Crisis.
All right.
It's a good podcast, too. Just saying.
On that note.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.